Which couples do you think are the most and least compatible? If I speak, I'm in trouble.
I feel like Ty has obviously been shown to be this player or whatnot, but he actually grew so much. Hi, my name is Catherine.
Hi, my name is Elom.
And we are playing Text on the Beach with Cosmo. Subscribe for more like this. I've got a text.
What surprised you the most about your time in the villa?
I would say what surprised me the most is just how natural everything is. You're in there, you literally just forget about life. Yeah, you just get to know people for who they are, which I feel like that was just surprising, because in the real world you don't have the time to sit with people 24/7 and chat to them, where in the villa you do.
I would say how close I got with the islanders, because everyone was rocking in the same boat. You always had someone to fall back on, you can open up to them as well, and they will fully understand you.
Yeah, I agree. Were there any moments that you were surprised or annoyed weren't aired? They don't air like the beautiful moments we all share together. Like there was loads of apologies that weren't aired. I remember me and Ty had such a like brother sister moment where we both like were in tears, and like that wasn't shown. After the whole Scott bringing everyone to the fire pit moment, and obviously Ty got really rude, and obviously in my head I was like, you know, Ty, I do see you as someone that's close to me. You didn't pull me up on anything. If you really did care about me, why didn't you just come and say it to me? So obviously after that he pulled me, and he was just like how, you know, he really does care for me, and he was just kind of like, you know, he was battling with being a boy's boy and being there for me. So it just got very emotional, and you know, he was like, come in, and like I started crying, and he was like, oh, don't cry. Like it was just such a cute moment.
I feel like the same as what Catherine said. Like a lot of things weren't shown on the show, but at the same time, behind closed doors, we obviously saw everything what happened as well. I felt like I said a lot more around the fire pit in terms of my speech, and that some of it wasn't aired.
I'd also say, like, when we sit down for conversations, we are not sitting down for 10-15 minutes. Like, we are sitting down for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, because the days are just so long. So, you know, Scott and I had a conversation. It was that fire pit conversation straight after Casa. And again, that wasn't just a 10-minute conversation. That was like an hour conversation that we were having. You know, there was smiles, there was tears, and literally just got the most heated part. But I get it. Catherine, do you have any regrets for how you handled your situation with Scott? What I do, you know, kind of look back on is letting everyone get to my head a little bit, because, you know, there was about 14 of us, I think, in the villa at the time. So we're 12 of us, 12 of them is saying to me, you know, comment about Scott constantly. It was easy to ignore, I was standing by him, but you know, I am human, so comments do get to me subconsciously. And then it was just never a conversation about it after, and I really didn't want to speak to him, but then Neo came and we were all left over Neo, and we got shipped off to Casa.
Did the pressure ever get to you in the villa? Yes, the pressure did get to me in the villa, especially in Casa Amor. Like stepping into Casa Amor and having to actually go out there and find a connection with someone was a lot harder than I thought. Especially going into the main villa as well, like stepping around the fire pit and actually seeing the islanders in couples, seeing Scott as well there, seeing everyone just look down on you, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'd say the same. Like there was so much pressure, like it just gets to you. Like even at the beginning, I was breaking down over cold water. Like I was crying. I was like, I'm not a bra, I promise I'm not a bra. I think everyone just had their moments at the beginning, and obviously Casa was just such a crazy environment, because I never wanted to be disrespectful. There was a moment where I actually was rejecting Elom. He did go in for the kiss, and I said no. And you know, he did try, and then the next day, and then the next day I was like, you know what, I need to open myself a little bit more. Catherine, you shared on After Sun that you and Scott made amends. How did that conversation go? The conversation went just in a way of like, we both know that we care for each other, and we know that when you do care for someone, like it just gets heated, so you may say things that you didn't want to say. So we were just like, kind of understanding each other, and realistically we were coupled up for 2 weeks, so like I know things about Scott that no one else does in the villa, and he knows things about me that no one else did. So we did obviously connect on an emotional level, so I think obviously we kind of made that into a friendship, and we were just there for each other.
Who are you both closest to in the villa and why? I would say Lochan and Whitney, only because with Lochan, I started in the villa with him in Castle Moor. We built a friendship there. He would always come to me if he needed help as well. And when we obviously went into the main villa, Whitney was there.
So I would say if I had to pick my closest, I would say Whitney, just because we were related on another level. Like we were just there for each other. I was able to stick up for her, she was able to stick up for me. But then again, I was obviously close to Ella and Jess, and then me, Ella, Whitney and Jess literally had a little group. We literally called ourselves Lekki Girls. Lekki is a city in Nigeria where it's like, you know, bougie, you know, but you can get loud. So it was like the perfect like name. So, and then Jess, obviously, she was like all about the culture. So we're like, yeah, you're a lucky girl too. Who do you think differs the most from how they're portrayed on the show?
Face to face, Mitch is a mood.
I would say Mitch. Mitch is hilarious, and I feel he's hilarious because he's just so abrupt. Like, I'd be like, Mitch, why'd you say that? I don't know. And he just ended there, no emotion in his face, and like we'd all be laughing, and he still wouldn't be laughing. Like Mitch is just Mitch, and he's just so funny. But sometimes he just comes across as messy, which is why he gets his name Messy Mitch. Yeah, and I'd say Ty as well. Like I feel like Ty has obviously been shown to be this player or whatnot, but he actually grew so much. Like he does show his emotions. He's such a lover boy as well. You know, he just wanted to be with Ella 24/7.
Which couples do you think are the most and least compatible? If I speak, I'm in trouble. I'm gonna say most compatible, I'll say Lochan and Whitney, only because I've seen them flourish from Castle up until the main villa. They're growing day by day as well. But I can also say Ty and Ella as well.
Yeah, I would say the most compatible is Ty and Ella. Just because from day one, there was a spark there. They were just drawn to each other, and like, you know, she said she loves Ty to me and he said it to me and Whitney separately as well, so it's like they just need to get there with each other. And the least compatible, I would say Mitch and Ella. Yeah,
Mitch and Ella.
Mitch is not Ella's type on the outside. Yeah, that's what, yeah. Do you think Whitney and Lochan are good together?
100% facts. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I do think so. I honestly think like they get along. Like Whitney's personality,
Lochan's personality as well.
Yeah, Lochan's personality, they bounce off each other, and like Lochan's so like emotionally aware, and I think that's what Whitney wanted. Like he brings out that emotional side to her. He lets her put her card down. He lets her like, you know, just be her, no judgy, like, and he'll be there for her no matter what, which is obviously really nice to see. What do you think of Tyrique and Ella's relationship? I think it's amazing. Like honestly, I've been there since day one, and I've just seen it from the get-go. Like I literally felt like I was watching a love story, and of course not everything's gonna be good. Of course there'll be tears, but when you watch a movie, I'm sure that's what you see too. So, you know, the end goal is always worth it.
Going into the main villa and actually meeting Tyrique. Tyrique is actually my guy. Like the way he expresses his feelings, the way he talks about Ella as well, he speaks about her very highly. So I feel like they're gonna do very well. Do you think Molly and Zach are compatible? Oh, that's a good question. I think they are. I've spoken to Zach a couple of times whilst I was in the villa. He has strong feelings for Molly, but at the same time, I feel like right now, currently, he still has feelings for Katie at the same time. So it's an iffy one, but his heart lies with Molly.
Different girls bring out different sides to Zach, okay? Molly obviously brings out this more calm Zach, which is fine. But I think him and Katie, like, they never concluded what they had. Like, you know, there was never a conversation. It was just like Molly came back and, you know, we didn't speak about it. Oh. Katie's left the villa, so it's like, is that the end of her and Zach? Possibly.
Possibly, 100%.
Possibly, yeah.
Who would you have kissed, married and pie in the most recent challenge? So definitely, I would have kissed Catherine, married Amber, only because Amber is the type of person, like she was always close with us as well.
Yeah, she was all, yeah,
I do
she
care
was
about
very
her
cute.
as well. Like,
She's
I
like a
wish
little sister.
she is like a little sister, so I would have married Amber, Pi, Ella, only because she did easy dirty. You can't be doing easy dirty like that.
So I'll probably do it backwards. So definitely Pi Mitch, because he came back from Casa on some, I'm sorry, Catherine, I might have said some things. I was just trying to make the boys laugh, and I was like, okay, Mitch. So he's getting pied for that. I would have snogged Elom, and then I would have married Ty just because we were close. Have you heard any rumors about yourself that you want to set straight? Yeah, a rumor that I'd love to address would obviously just be the whole Scott situation. I wasn't this horrible big bad person to Scott. I said some things to him. He also said some things to me. There were those situations that weren't aired. By the end of it, we were good.
On your side, about how Catherine obviously dealt with the whole situation with Scott. Like, not many people saw what actually happened on that day. Like, we was vibing with Scott, we was sitting around the fire pit, we was actually having interesting conversations. So yeah, that's a rumor I would like to clear up. Like, Catherine actually did apologise to Scott. They were on perfect terms before we obviously left the villa as well.
Who will you keep in touch with after the show? I will keep in touch with obviously my girls like Jess, Whitney, Ella, that's a given. Boys, Mons, I'm already in touch with him, Ty, Mitch as well. I think everyone, like I'm saying everyone's name, like literally everyone, like, because honestly, like, people on the show, the producers were shocked at how close we all got so quickly. Like, it's never happened before. Like, we actually all were so close.
I would say everyone, like everyone in there was like more or less like family, even the casting team as well. Like, I just want to thank them as well for actually being there for us and actually keeping us on track as well. Who do you want to win the show? I'm going to say Lochan and Whitney. Lochan and Whitney, best couple in that villa. I've seen them flourish from Casa up until now. They're growing and they're still growing as well. I feel like the connection is there.
Obviously Whitney and Lochan, because again, they bounce off each other and there actually isn't anything bad in their relationship. I think the worst thing was him saying he wanted to get to know people, but
one of them was you, right?
Like, I think it was a point where I had to sit down with him, Elom, and was just like, Lochan, Whitney likes you. I was like, you like Whitney. You did not come in at the start. You don't have that privilege of saying, I want to get to know X, Y, Z. Like, you need to know who you're getting along with and you need to just go after them. And keep my name out of your mouth. Yeah, and then Ellen and Ty, obviously, because again, it was like a love story watching.
What are you most excited for now that you're out of the villa?
I'm excited for everything. Like, honestly, I'm excited for what life brings. I'm excited for the memories I'm going to be making with such amazing people. Like, being in the villa is one thing, being out the villa and having like just the world's your oyster kind of thing is just obviously so exciting.
I'm excited for like spending time with my family more often and also having that a little bit of a private life as well, like going out on dates and just doing new ventures as well.
Right now, there's no plans to go official because obviously we are still getting to know each other and it's so different from being in the villa. And obviously the last thing I heard was he wants to get to know about Michelle, okay?
Do you know what? Yeah, we explained what I was
Yeah, I know, but how can I jump from that to being official?
We're just taking it slow right now. Taking it slow, going with the flow, being in the present moment.
Yeah, if it works, it works. Bye.
Thanks for watching.